Clinton.
Yeah, where I say Shaggy?
I got on general.
I mean, all right, you know. I know it's kind of difficult because you are on tour now. You are in the UK, I understand.
Yes, we just came from sound check. Kind of ran over a little late because some difficulties we're having,
Right.
and got me start out and I get ready to roll over back to the venue now. So just try to come in and jump on real quickly with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I know you have a very busy schedule. Where are you working tonight? Exactly where is your concert?
We're in London. We're in Shepherd's Bush.
In where?
Shepherd's Bush,
Oh,
London.
you know, you have toured the world for the past 30 years. Where do you get your best reception?
I mean, we've been fortunate to have a brand that is a global brand,
Mm-hmm.
and and you really anywhere in the globe you say Shaggy, people know it.
Right.
So each fan and each market has a different energy and vibe. But what I do find out in the rural areas, like for instance, we did this thing called Isle of Wight, which is on the north end of England,
Mm-hmm.
very remote areas.
Mm-hmm.
And in most of the remote areas parts, you always get the better reception from people because of the fact that they just don't see a lot of major acts coming
Right,
down that
right.
side.
That is true. I get
And so it's a more enthusiastic crowd.
right,
Not saying that you will go to other places and pack the house. The houses will be packed, but they won't have that enthusiasm
right,
that you
right.
will have, like if you go to these places that don't naturally normally see acts like that.
Other ambassador of Jamaican culture, music. Is it a burden for you at times to be representing? Because you when a story comes out, it starts by saying Jamaican international, Jamaican superstar. Is it a burden at times to represent your culture, your country, your people? Is that a burden at times?
Not at all, because that's my identity. It's like I'm gonna ask you if is it a burden to name Clinton Lindsay. It is your
Yeah, you
identity.
have to go there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but
So
sometimes,
it
listen,
you know
as an
it.
artist, sometimes you want to have your time, your me time. This is for me. How do you get that?
Well, it boils down to time management and balancing. But in anything you do, if you're a man who like play golf, you have to make time for golf, no
Right,
matter how it is, because you enjoy it.
right,
And instead of you play golf once a week, if you really enjoy it, you can play it twice a week. If
right,
you enjoy it more, it's gonna be 3, 4, 5 times a week.
right, right,
That's
right.
music. That's music for me because it's something that I enjoy a lot. You know what I mean? As somebody asked me the other day, it's like when I gotta stop, me say stop and do it.
Stop and do what? Right, right,
You know what I mean? This is really what I do. So I'll continue to make music because it is fulfilling in that way.
right. Oh, by the way, you speak about music. Congratulations with Me No Know. That's the #1 song now in New York for the past
Love
three
this song.
weeks. And
Yeah.
the new album, Come Fly With Me, your tribute to Frank Sinatra. How did that idea come around? Is it you or Sting? Who came up with that idea?
Well, Sting really came up with the idea. I was just literally singing some Frank Sinatra song. We're on the in Norway on the fjord,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a boat out on a day off, and just kind of hanging out, drinking some beer and chilling out. And I put some Sinatra music on and just start singing. And then him popping it up and said, "Wow, it's amazing that you're a key. You have the same tone as
Tone, right.
Sinatra, which is a bass tenor."
Right.
I was like, "Okay, cool."
Okay,
And he
so
said, "No,
big deal. You have it.
you know,
What you gotta do with it?
yeah." And then he came up with say, we should do some covers, and would it be
Right.
great to do them in reggae? And we talked about it for a while, and I laughed about it. It's more like a joke, and
Right.
it was kind of sat around for about 3 years. And when I was in Vegas the other day with him, he asked, "What am I doing the top of the year? Let's do this." And we went over. He came to my house in Miami and stayed there for a week, and we ended up bringing some musicians, some of my musicians, and come up.
Right.
Some of his musicians come up, and we just kind of sat there and jammed. And after about a week, we kind of realized that we have something, and it was pretty unique.
Right.
I would have decided to just do it as a pet project.
Now, your relationship with Sting seemed like it was made for you too. Like from the first time you met him until this time, you just seem to be real. You really love each other. Am I on the right track with that?
Yeah, man, this is the brother I never knew I needed.
You never. Say that again. The brother you never.
that's the, yeah, that's the brother I never knew I needed. I mean, Sting has been such an inspiration. Like, you do things in life, and there's so many people that doubt you. When you're
Right.
someone from the ghetto,
Right.
there's always people that are going to, inflict their own insecurities onto you.
Right.
When you're like a boy, your mother might beat you in front of people, and that within itself might scare you. Or somebody say, "Yo, they used to the boy, an idiot." You know what I mean? And that might live with you for a while.
Right.
And there are people that's going to be in your circles that, they probably aren't risk takers and don't have the same amount of drive or curiosity that you have. And, because of they've been scared to take certain chances, they might inflict a lot of that on you, and you will sometimes start believing it. Well, what Sting did for me was really step into my world and look at me and tell me that, yo, you can do anything. You can do this. You can do that, and push me. You know what I mean? And
saying
gave
that,
me the confidence.
and saying that, do anything. Sometimes I look at you and I'm like, you would make a great actor. You would make a great comedic actor.
Yeah, man, we have done that. I mean, we did Little Mermaid. We have done a movie called Blast. I'm actually in negotiation right now with some people on a possible Netflix series. So there's a lot of things that are on the horizon, things that we deal with here and there. There's a lot of things I've turned on. There's movies that I've turned on because it just doesn't feel right. And that's another thing Sting say, if it don't feel right, don't do it.
Don't do it.
You know what I mean? And
what would be your ideal role, though? What would be your ideal role?
It wouldn't be an ideal role. It has to be something that speaks to me. You know what I mean? Where you read it and you are entertained. If it entertains me, because I'm allergic to boredom. You know what I mean?
Yes, you are.
So at the end of the day, yeah. So if it excites me and I'm not bored of it, or then yeah, it is right for me.
Right.
Having money is not the measure of success. It's having choices. Having the ability to say no, or not to something because you don't have to, is the best freedom you can have.
Right.
So you don't want to be in a position where you put your hat where you can't reach it, or you're living your life above your means, and then you have to take every little thing that comes to you to maintain that. I'm not in that position. I'm in a position that I do what I want when I want. I do it because I like it.
Now, from your humble beginning in Brooklyn, to where you are now, did you ever envision? Your first song was 1992, Mampy. And that song, I couldn't play it, Shaggy, as you know, because we had a system back then we called Not Fit for Airplay. But the song was selling like crazy. And that was your first charted song. Until now, you have the number one song. Did you envision all what you're going through in 1992?
Well, I couldn't envision the level of success. I don't think no one could really do that, but I certainly tapped into my passion for music and the passion for it.
Right.
I knew that I would be doing this for the rest of my life.
Right.
I pretty much knew that. I knew that there was nothing else that I did that was more fulfilling than this.
Right. A lot of Jamaicans, they really respect what you're doing, not just for the music and for the culture, but for Jamaica itself. You have always put Jamaica first. And I try, when I talk to artists and we talk about attitude and so on, I say, one person I always believe have the right attitude, media friendly, just a nice person, is Shaggy. And when you started the Shaggy and Friends thing, I said, this is what I'm talking about. What is the status of that charity thing that you do every year? A lot of people are concerned about that. What is the status of that right now?
Well, we've done it for a lot of years. You remember before I started doing it publicly, I was doing it 9 years out of pocket.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
I was buying beds and machines and fixing roofs and building parks on that facility 9 years before I started to do concerts. But I met a little young girl and she had a bullet in her head, and I just felt helpless and powerless. And I feel like I wanted to do something else, and I decided to do the concert. Once we start doing the concerts and going very publicly, listen, we raised a lot of money just over the years, over $2 million over the years of us doing these concerts.
Yes,
and we built a cat lab and contributed to the hospital with a lot of equipment and stuff. And I just think it has gotten to a point where you start something, and it becomes a charity, and everybody come in and them start. You get certain things for free. You might get light and you might get sound and stage and artists and everything for free. And as it becomes successful, those things kind of go away. The man who used to give the fencing for free, I'm going to tell you, say, that cost this. The man who do this, and after a while, you just say, then it becomes the number one hustle. After a while, where everything just really. So I just think it has run its course, we just got to a point where we say, okay, all right, it's let's take a break off it. I don't know if we'll ever do it again. We probably would. But you remember Shaggy and Friends the Friends is a big part of the brand.
Of course.
Those friends are people who are sponsors and workers and people who dedicate their time.
Right.
Who and those people have to be on board with me to also do it. The other day was a huge scandal about $100 million this and all
that's
that,
what
which
a lot of people were upset the way they treated you at the time.
Yeah, well, and that was also something that it didn't just hurt me; it hurt the people that actually were volunteering and doing a lot of work behind the scenes also, and felt slighted by it also. So all of that we have to take into consideration if we decide to go back again, and see if it is the right time. So I'm not ruling it out.
Are you close to any decision where that is concerned? A lot of people at the time, Shaggy, a lot of people at the time took the stance that they wouldn't, if they were you, they wouldn't do it again. You're not taking that stance, are you?
Well, you know what? We have to put the children first. We have to put the cause first. And let me be clear that we still raise funds privately, because I have people that donate to Shaggy and Friends that are very wealthy friends of mine,
right?
Who every year they'll come and they'll give a certain amount of money, and so we'll still raise funds, but then now we'll be able to actually do what we want with it at this point, for charity, of course.
So you would branch out to other charities. You would branch out not just to the Bustamante Children's Hospital.
Yeah, we'll probably eventually. I think we just changed our status recently. I think you saw something in the paper where they were talking about that we did not renew our charity status, and which is a common thing. All you have to do is just basically file you file an extension and do it. So I really didn't think it was front page worthy, but that is to show you the level of trials and tribulations that we have to deal with in this, and people that are against us for whatever reason.
But what? Let me ask you. You said something there. What could be wrong with you trying to help people, and the world sees what you're doing. The world sees Shaggy, the result. It's not like no one knows when you come with the check 150 million, 50 million. The world sees that. So what could be any motive for them to behave that way?
Well, you can pretty much sit down and ask what was the motive for them saying I robbed 150 million when it was sitting in the bank account the whole time, where I have to go and get the head of the bank and all of these people to come and verify it.
Right. And that's where the book stops, Shaggy. That's where the book stops with a lot of people. Say that's it. I wouldn't do it again.
Well, your guess is as good as mine. You know what I mean? But what I am saying, I cannot let that derail me from, because the people them where they start with me the burn unit, you have people in the burn unit that I've known for years upon years. Burn unit, patients don't leave quickly, so I've known them for years, and those people, we still do our Christmas treat and go down there and do all of that. So I can't let that derail me. So I'll still do fundraisers if it need be. We still donate and do what we have to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? If a piece of equipment is there to buy, we're going to buy it. You know what I mean? So be it. And if it even go along to it for me putting my own money in, I'll do that.
And this is what people that know you from back then know, that you have a good heart, you're very kind, and sometimes other people take that for granted and use it against you. But people who know you from back then where you were in Desert Storm, people know say you have a very good heart. They know that's you. Even when people are said to me, yeah, why Mr. Lindsay, me think him now go do it now. I said, nah, knowing Shaggy, he will do it again. And here you are saying the same thing. You will do it.
Oh yeah. But I, where I'm going to jump and do it like right away. The team is a big part right now.
Yes.
Very, very solid team we have.
Yes.
And these people have to feel confident that they're doing something that won't blow up in their face, or people won't come at them and backfire at them. And and if I was ever having any conversation about doing it, that last article they print the other day about the charities act certainly, put another doubt in them again. So
listen,
it's an ongoing conversation.
Right. You have sold estimated like 150 million records over the years around the world. And you still hold the records of the only Jamaican artist to have simultaneously, Shaggy, the #1 album and the #1 single on Billboard chart. You realize that? You realize that?
We have a lot of number. We have
a lot of first, yes, you do. But that one nobody has equaled that right now since that 2000.
Well, I don't know if we sold as much as 150 million. But I would have to check that across the board. But I certainly know that Caroline was the first dancehall #1 in the British chart ever. Mr. Bombastic was the first #1 reggae or dancehall song to debut in the British chart. The Hot Shot album was the first #1 dancehall album and still is the only #1 dancehall album on both continents and in both charts, and the longest serving. And we have the longest serving singles also, and all of that. So it very well be what you say. We have had a lot of firsts, You
have a lot of firsts.
I'm not want to sit down and really think about accolades and them things that Clinton. To tell the truth, me's a man, may I look for the next thing. Cause the old stuff, thinking about those things don't excite me like what I'm doing now.
Right.
The new stuff, the new things that I do is what excites me because I'm living in the now. I'm living now.
All right,
I'm thinking about what excites me now.
Someone just sent me a text in the new song, and I every time I'm gonna play that song, I would make a statement like, I would trouble him now. Someone mess with him. Me don't know. Is it a direct experience or just lyrics, as you are very lyrical? What is it?
Yeah, when you sit down and you make some songs that you go down there, and we had a lot of success. When we write go down there, we had a lot of success. I'm going to see like the market, we just need something like that. And it was just time to say it. You know what I mean?
Say what? Say to who? Say what to whom?
And the reason for saying that is to ignite conversation.
Oh, okay. You have succeeded in that because, I am saying that. I am saying that.
Yeah, people out there, I think, say, well, me talk about the part, #1, I'm not afraid for a feature, so we have Sean Paul, I talk about.
That was said too. That was said too. So you can
that was said too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what time will you...
And the thing is, the people don't know that me and Sean talk almost every night, and why I wrote that particular line had something to do with Sean Paul, but not in the context that you think. Sean had given me a story. I think he told us the other day that he was on a show, I think, where he did a song with a big artist. And he was at, I think it was Coachella. He was at Coachella. And he was with the artist and went to the artist and said, hey, I'm here. Let's do the song together. And the artist said, no, my thing's set already. And he watched the artist play him song, having faced on the camera out there. Boom. And then, another star, I think it was Paris, and I one of them on the star, looked at him and said, isn't that you? Why aren't you up there? And we go through so many of these feature situations where these artists want to come and collaborate with
Right,
you,
right,
right?
right.
Because they want the cool factor, but then they don't want to, um, to give you props
Right.
or give you more
Give you
than
the
what they
credit,
think you should
right?
get. You know what I mean? I did a song with Janet Jackson called Love Me," and she decided not to come in the video.
That was
I've been
back
dealing
then,
with it
though.
for
But
years.
you think that
years.
would be the same now? Now that you are who you are, you're a made.
Absolutely. I go through it. I go through it to this day. Absolutely. To this day. You know what I mean? And this is why I respect Sting. A man like a popcorn to do a song with Drake,
Hmm.
and then do one and two with the song and rare. And but Sting did a whole album. Sting actually gave me 50% of the whole album
Nice.
with me and Shaggy. He
Wow.
went on tour and gave me 50% of everything that we made on tour. We did 50% on merch. We split it down the middle. How many artists that is featuring with with a dancehall artist going to that?
Well, one thing I
Which is
can.
my point.
It's the point. Good point to make. But Shaggy, you carrying the flag and the flag of Jamaica. You have performed for the Queen. You have met the Pope. You have performed for various presidents around the world, prime ministers. Is there, as you said, is there any ending to this? Is this, as you said earlier, this is what you do, and what else is do? What else is there? You gotta do some acting and so on and so
It,
on.
yeah, we do all kind of things, man. But to be honest with you, I never planned on any of this. These are opportunities that just came up. The Pope had asked us, the Vatican, I should say, had asked us 3 times before we actually decided to go and play the Christmas concert for them. And both times we were, with scheduling problems. We had other engagements, and it came back the third time again. And at this time, we say, okay, let us make an effort and go down there. So these things present themselves to them.
Right,
Being
right,
performing at the Queen's birthday
right.
was also another thing that presents itself. So
Mm.
I can't tell you what will present itself down the line. I'm just here doing music and doing it to the best of my ability. If something brings it itself and it feels right, I'm going for it. It's just like Super Bowl. Who could have done that? I mean,
Uh,
it just so happened that
Whatever
they
happens, right,
approached us.
right.
Our Disney,
But
for Little
you do have
Mermaid, they
desire
approached
though, Shaggy. Shaggy, you must have desire. You would want to do this and do that at one point. Like, you would like you have desires. No, so
the
what
only
would be your
desire that
desire?
the only desire that I have, and I'm going to tell you, if you ask me what is my biggest accomplishment today, I will tell you it is my children.
Oh,
I
nice,
have
nice,
5 children,
nice,
and I have such a bond with them that
nice.
I could not have imagined. I couldn't have imagined the bond that I have, and how high they hold me and how much love they give
Nice.
me.
Right.
Because when you get to youth, you don't really get them kind of love. Me never have a mother when for hug and them things there.
Right.
Got them over words since the earth people. So when you come from the ghetto, you never have that kind of love. Your father boxing at the back of your head in front of people. I say, boy, I go sit down.
Exactly. How is your relationship with your mom now? How is that coming out? How is that?
It's great. It's
Great.
actually very, very great. She's with me now in Miami, and you know, um, we have connected very, very well. And she's, it's such a positive
Yeah.
vibe right now with her and I. And
Nice, nice,
I mean, we've
nice.
lost a lot of time, and we're making up for a lot.
Uh,
You know what I mean? But those are the desires that I have. I don't
right.
think it's anything monetarily or career wise that I'm craving. I'm not in the situation like oh yeah, I'm have to go run the place. Yeah, this game right now does not belong to us. It belongs to the generation that is here now, the Skilly Ben and the Skeng and Dexter Daps and these guys that are doing. That's where it belongs.
Right.
Those guys are the future. You know what I mean? Like it or not, those guys are
That's
the
the
future.
future.
What we are doing right now, what I am doing certainly, is just maintaining. You know what I mean? I have a fan base that's a global fan base. I keep music fresh for them. I come on tour. I'm in front of them tonight. We were in front of 10,000 of them 2 nights ago. And we go around and we sing these songs, and that's it.
So
And I get.
when you're through with this tour in the United Kingdom, where the next? We're gonna go for the summer. Where the summer tour?
Well, we're in Europe straight up until mid
Ah.
August.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. And
Yeah. So
congratulations
we're
to
here.
your recent honorable degree, Bachelor of Arts. That was very, very good. I saw the entire 20 minutes of video. You seem to be very happy with that one, Shaggy. That's the first time for you?
First time for me, yes. And it was good to be recognized by such a prestigious college,
Yes, yes.
and be there amongst, these people. I remember sitting on the panel, and beside me was, lady for CDC, and there was another gentleman who was in charge of vaccines in the World Vaccine Organization, and there was a Pulitzer Prize journalist, and there was a Nobel Peace Prize winner beside me, and then there was an Oscar winner for some documentary film, and then right after that was Nancy Pelosi, and I'm sitting on this panel with all of these people.
All of
saying,
these
how
people.
did I get here?
Wow. 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 Our old Shaggy, I remember back in the early days of your career, it was like going back and forth trying to get that break. SUBs and Biltmore Ballroom and just trying to get
Yeah,
a
man.
break.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just, if you work hard and go out feet and believe in yourself. That's another thing. You really have to believe in yourself,
Right.
and surround yourself with people that are positive and believe in you and share your same vision.
Right,
If they don't share the same vision, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? And that's all I have to do. I have to surround with people who believe in the vision.
All right, and I know your time is limited, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. But before you go, last night I said, I'm going to talk to Shaggy today. Let me take a look at your chart history. Do you know that since 1992 you have had how many songs do you think you have had on the chart, Shaggy?
I have no idea. I don't even check.
44.
Oh
44.
wow!
And out of the 44, just take a guess. How many number ones? Take a guess.
I don't know, 5. I don't know.
Are you kidding me, Shaggy?
I have
5.
no idea. Clinton, I don't look at charts. To tell the truth.
The
I just
fact
play
that,
music.
hey, Bridget, I'm the chart compiler, right? So
Yeah, I know that. I know you're into the charts.
you have had 14 number ones since 1992.
Okay.
So when you do your next album inlay, you want stuff like that in your bio, you can always check on me. Hey, listen, I want to thank you very much, my friend. And last November, when I was celebrating my 45th year in radio, you sent me a very nice little congratulatory message there. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the message, yeah, man.
And
Well, years you're doing, all right. You've been there since the beginning of my career, from in Brooklyn, and the Tamika Awards that you used to keep. I'm a recipient of quite a few of those statues that still sit on my mantle to this day. So
you still keep them?
So yes, they sit on my mantle to this day. So yes, big up.
I appreciate it. Shaggy, continue success. Continue making us Jamaicans proud, brethren, because you are making all of us, regardless of what part of the world we are, Jamaicans. You are making us proud, so continue doing that.
Yes, my boss. So give thanks, yeah?
And when you get a chance, make a drop for me. I would love something updated for Clinton Lindsay Foundation Radio Network and SINATRA. Oh, by the way,
All right, yeah.
Alicia, she deserves a raise of pay.
Yeah, my assistant. Yeah, man.
Yeah, she's good. All right, Bridget, thanks a lot.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
All right, respect. All right, that's the one and only Shaggy there. I want to take some time out to thank him for taking time out of his busy schedule. Gonna be performing tonight in the UK. I want to thank him very much.
I'm saying, yo, big up every time. Enough respect to Clinton Lindsay. 45 years, yeah, on the radio. Large up yourself. You know what I mean? You have contributed dearly to the reggae community, both from your radio show and Tamika Reggae Awards. We salute you, sir. 45 years. Yeah.
Clinton Lindsay, a promoter. Bring up the biggest set of artists from Jamaica. Like Super Cat and Mr. Early be the doctor. Only for artists, no for them, me can't remember. Who can remember when them used to keep Jamaica? The kind of show that used to give out no for water. To reggae artists.